boys mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you still hold a special place in your Grizzlies' heart for former Grizz center Steven Adams, because he's apparently helping us with our new center, Australian big man Jock Landale. Nice story from Drew Hill, DailyMemphian.com. I'm going to talk you through it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Chris Vernon going to join me. He, of course, is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He'll pop it here. We'll talk all things Grizzlies and NBA, including the Golden State Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga finally coming to a resolution. Chris Vernon will be here in the next segment. Finish talking to Vernon, going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, what we have come to know as Memphis Madness is moving to Beale Street, October 16th, 6 p.m. It's going to be a celebration outside. We'll spend some time on that in about 40 minutes. There are popular sports commissioners, and then there are unpopular sports commissioners, and oh buddy, then there's WNBA commissioner Kathy Engelbert. That woman is hated by everybody, and it looks like soon to be out of a job. I'll tell you how awful her Tuesday was. We'll do that in just a bit. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are going at it on social media. They're calling each other ugly. They're calling each other cokeheads.
Oh, wow.
They're criticizing each other's reproductive organs. It's wild out there.
Sounds like it.
Woo! I'll give you the highlights a little later on in the show. We have a quarterback change in Cleveland. Who saw this coming? Joe Flacco is out. Dylan Gabriel is in. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on that situation. Do it in the third segment. And day 2 of the MLB playoffs is set to get underway in about 2 hours. Fun stuff on day 1. Red Sox-Yankees was awesome last night. Shohei, he homered twice against the Reds. We'll talk baseball during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies, because day 1 of the Grizzlies training camp over in Nashville, it's in the books. Today is, we're calling it day 2. Among those with boots on the ground at Belmont University, in addition to our own Michael Wallace, is the Daily Memphian's Drew Hill, who published an interesting story that mostly focused on Jock Landale. You know Jock Landale, right?
Yes, I do.
Of course you do. He's a 6'11 center. He's from Australia. Played college basketball, you might remember, at St. Mary's. Shouts to Randy Bennett.
Oh, yeah, they got the pipeline. I forgot.
Shouts to Randy Bennett. Shouts to Omar Samhan. As Drew Hill detailed in his story, according to Jock Landale, it was like 4 hours after he and his wife welcomed their child into this world, he signed his free agent deal with the Grizzlies. Have a child. Celebrate that for a few hours. Let's sign a deal with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, I saw that they were posting like their the players' like favorite pictures from the summer, and his was him holding his newborn baby. So that was kind of nice.
Well, I mean, it would have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think you have to.
I think you're obligated. If you have a baby in the calendar year and somebody says, hey, what's the best picture you have from this calendar year? You got to go with the baby picture.
That's right.
I think that goes without saying. It's a one-year deal, $2.46 million. More important than that, according to Jock, is just the opportunity to actually play. And boy, is he going to get an opportunity to play. Because at this point, barring a surprise, Jock Landale is likely to start at center on opening night.
I think so.
When the Grizzlies host the Pelicans. It's Wednesday, October 22nd, here inside FedEx Forum. And that's because we now know Zach Edey will not be available on opening night. And because we now know Brandon Clark is not going to be available on opening night, and, you know, at least in part, because it's unclear whether Jaren Jackson Jr. will be available on opening night. None of this is great, obviously, but hopefully Jock Landale is among the reasons it'll be not as bad as it otherwise could be. Bennett, are you ready to learn about and root for St. Mary's alum Jock Landale? Because that's what we're going to be doing this preseason and early in the season, it appears.
Yeah, and I am rooting for the guy. I actually saw an interview with him over the summer. It was, and I think it was an older interview, maybe from like a year ago or something like that. But he was talking about how, because, you know, he was playing on a good Rockets team, and obviously when Steven Adams came over there, he's playing behind Steven Adams. Like, he's got guys in front of him. He's not playing a lot. And he talked about how he and some of the other guys that that maybe weren't playing as much would have these really, really intense scrimmages during the week because they needed to stay ready. Sure. and they like held each other accountable, and it was a big thing that they did. And he also talked about how he thought that his game was very fitting for playoff basketball. Mm-hmm. Screen setting, rebounding, when the game obviously gets tighter in the playoffs. Like, it's, in theory, a guy like that is someone that can really help you. So I'm intrigued. Yeah. I am intrigued.
Well, John talked a little bit yesterday about what you're talking about, which is a lot of the stuff this guy does is not going to be stuff that shows up in box scores.
Right.
But he's going to have an impact on the game. He's going to impact winning. You know, John made a point to say, like, that we appreciate those guys. You know, they're not going to be on all-star teams, and I'm paraphrasing here, but this is more or less what John was saying. They're not going to be on all-star teams. They're not going to lead anybody in scoring. They're not going to lead anybody in most things, but they're going to help us win. They're going to be a part of winning. You need people like that on your team. You need people like that in your franchise. And if you go check out the story from Drew Hill at dailymemphian.com, he details that though the traditional stats connected to Jock Landale aren't impressive, there are some advanced stats that suggest he's in the top 95 percentile, or top 5% rather, at his position, in doing certain things that should translate to winning. And so that's the hope here, is that you found somebody who at 29 years old has been in the NBA for a little while, but never been able to carve out a role exactly, but he's capable of doing it if just given the opportunity. Based on circumstances here in Memphis, he's going to be given that opportunity,
right,
at least early. And so the hope is that he'll capitalize on it. Some background stuff. He grew up, again, he's Australian. He grew up in Australia and then hit a growth spurt in his preteen years. And that's when he developed into a real prospect that was getting attention from, among others, American college basketball programs. Ends up signing with St. Mary's and was the WCC, West Coast Conference Player of the Year, in 2018. So great college player of the year in a respected league, gets the league that Gonzaga plays in. Enters the draft, goes undrafted, starts his professional career in Serbia. Also ends up playing in Lithuania and Australia before signing with the Spurs in August of 2021. Played with the Spurs, played with the Suns, played with the Rockets, but never played more than 69 games in any NBA season, and has never averaged more than 14.2 minutes per contest in any NBA season. He's played 221 career games in the NBA, but like I said, never really carved out a role. But that should change this season, again, at least in part because of the availability or lack thereof early of Zach Edey and Brandon Clark, and with Tripp's early availability, at least officially, also somewhat in question. And in preparation for this opportunity that appears to be on tap, do you know who Jock Landale has been relying on, at least a little bit, for knowledge of the greater Memphis area and your Grizzlies franchise?
I mean, I think I know because I read the story and I heard him talk about it. Yeah.
It's Steven Adams.
How about that?
Our old buddy, Steven Adams. They were teammates in Houston. And here's what Jock Landale told Drew Hill about Steven Adams, former Grizz center. Quote, Steven Adams had a lot of recommendations on how to approach my time in Memphis. He's been giving me things to do and people to reach out to. He speaks very highly of the organization as a whole. Let's stop right there. How nice is that to hear?
Very nice.
You know, not everybody who leaves Memphis speaks very highly of Memphis.
That's true. Well,
you see Chandler Parsons on Instagram sometimes.
Okay, that's one idiot.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's like literally the only one I can think of. There might be like a few more, but for the most part, a lot of these guys, I think they're skeptical before they get here, but then they feel a different way once they've been here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm just saying pretty loudly, Chandler Parsons has not been our best cheerleader.
No.
He's on some level been one of our
enemy.
He's our enemy.
Yes.
I don't consider Chandler Parsons my enemy.
Well, I mean, he's clearly an enemy of the Grizzlies franchise. There's no question about it. He is as far as former players go, he is the biggest enemy of the Grizzlies franchise. It just is what it is. He would acknowledge that.
He's up there pretty good. At least Hasheem Thabit just keeps his mouth shut.
Right. He just doesn't say anything. Yeah.
First off, where is Hasheem Thabit?
I don't know.
What do you think he's doing right now?
Maybe he's at a mall somewhere.
Probably playing Fortnite.
I don't.
At least he keeps his mouth shut. We don't have to hurry. We don't have to hear from him. Every once in a while, I just jump on Instagram and it's just Chandler Parsons just shitting on Memphis.
Yes.
I can't remember the exact post, so don't quote me on this.
Yeah.
But I was just, you know how you do. You're wasting time on Instagram, and there was some post. I don't know that this is right, but it was something like this, like, Memphis leads the world in violent crimes, or the National Guard can't get to Memphis fast enough, or something like that. And I'm just sort of scrolling through. Yeah. And you know how you can see on Instagram, like how many likes a post has. Yeah. And typically the names that show up next to the likes are going to be people you follow, or they follow yours. Literally,
it's always him.
It's always him. It was like Chandler Parsons. Yeah. It was like the National Guard's coming to Memphis, or Memphis is leading the universe in violent crime, and it was like liked by Chandler Parsons.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mean to call him an idiot. He's not an idiot.
Well,
he's clearly a very smart guy. I mean, he's carved out a great career for himself.
It just didn't work out.
He's just the enemy of the Grizzlies. It is what it is. He's our enemy.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He's an enemy of the franchise, as you put it. I don't consider Chandler my personal enemy, but it didn't work out between he and the franchise. Let's just look at, is this the mature way to look at it? It didn't work out. We both wanted it to work out. It didn't work out. But now we both moved on, and we're both doing fine. He seems to be doing okay in his life.
He's doing great.
And we seem to be doing okay in our life.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay.
Sure.
We don't have to hate each other forever. Everything's fine.
Well, I think he's going to hate us forever, so.
I tell you, man, he loves a good violent crime Instagram post.
Yes. Yes, he does.
He can't wait to like those. So here's Steven Adams out there balancing it out for us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Isn't it nice to hear this? I know you have to hear the other stuff all the time, right? From the president on down. I know you have to hear the other stuff all the time. Isn't it nice to hear Steven Adams? Jock Landale said Steven Adams says nice things about the franchise. Steven Adams enjoys his time in Memphis. He thinks fondly of us. We bumped into him at the airport one time.
I appreciate that.
With the family.
Yeah.
He was great.
Man, it did. Like, just seeing him on that boat with KD this summer, catching those giant fish, and so it does make me I miss him. Yeah.
I think
Everyone misses him.
Everybody just loves him.
Yeah.
Everybody
He just seems like a fun dude.
It just seems like everybody loves him.
Right.
I've never heard anybody, a former teammate, a current teammate, a coach, a human, Chandler Parsons. I've never heard anybody say a bad word about Steven Adams. How do you think Chandler Parsons feel about Steven Adams?
He probably loves it.
Loves him.
He also only plays on good basketball teams. And so it's like, that's why you think fondly of him, because it's like anywhere he goes, the team is awesome.
And he's just cool all the time. He's never bothered about anything. He just wants to be your mate. That's all he wants to do is be your mate.
Right.
It's like, hey, you're the starting center for the Grizzlies. That's great, mate. Hey, we're in a best-of-7 series against the Timberwolves. You can't guard Karl Anthony Towns. You don't get to play anymore. That's cool, mate. It's just everything's fine. Everything's fine. Love Steven Adams. Jock Landale continued.
Yeah.
Said I was texting with Steve yesterday about some things. You know, he's a veteran. He knows his way around the system. I love him because he had some advice on how to play around some of these guys, as well as different things that he sees will work with my game, with Ja, for example, and with Jaren. He's happy to exhaust his knowledge. Steve doesn't shut up. He's happy to have a positive impact on your career, and he seems to do that with a lot of people. Best guy in the world.
Yeah, well, and that's also very true. Like, I see it with him all the time when I watch him play. Like, he is constantly talking to the other centers, specifically. He did it with Zach Edey last year. Steven Adams did. Like, you know, we saw Zach get into it with a few centers last year, and there was even like times on the court when he was going up against Steve-O, and they were kind of like, I was like, oh God, are they going to fight? Like, I'm scared. I like both of these guys. But then you look like in timeouts and stuff, and Steve-O's just talking to Zach, like about, you know, hey, you know, do this, or after the game, like when they're talking and stuff. And I'm like, he really does. It does seem like that he tries to share knowledge, like, of the game. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like that quote is evidence of it.
Right.
Like that quote. Hey, you're going, and like, you could have bad feelings about Memphis. You know, if you wanted to, you signed there, then they traded you.
Yeah.
You got hurt, then they traded you, and you could be like, yeah, thank God I got out of it. Yeah, you can say whatever you want, and just to say nice things and be helpful. Like, that's a great attribute. Like, just on a personal level, it's an incredible attribute to have. Just always wanting to be helpful when you can be helpful. And he seems to be an incredible example of that. So Jock Landale will come into, you know, this franchise with at least a helpful understanding of what he's getting into. I guess Steven Adams can't help him with the coach too much, but he knows what it's like to play next to Jaren Jackson Jr. He knows what it's like to set screens for Ja Morant. He knows where Ja wants you. He knows where Ja needs you. He knows where Ja wants to get you the ball and when to look and when to know. Just all that stuff can be helpful. And so then you just got to get in the gym and get comfortable with it. I think Ja was asked yesterday, you know, what's the biggest thing you guys need, you and Jock Landale, to get comfortable with each other? Because they're going to interact a lot on the court. You know what I said? Reps. Just reps. Just got to get in there and do it. Just get in there and do it, and get in there and do it. And that's what they did all day yesterday. And by all accounts, got straight to work. No, like, hey, let's ease into it. It's like, hey, we're here. We've been easing into it for weeks in voluntary workouts or voluntary workouts. We've been easing into it. Now it's ready to go. Let's go. And, you know, I was told by somebody in the franchise within the past few weeks, like, as well as the workouts had been going inside the practice facility here in advance of training camp, that, like, they're ready to play. Not from an injury perspective. People are banged up and recovering and all that. But, like, they have a good understanding of what they're trying to do. A lot of stuff is already put in place. Like, they're ready to play. And so then you get in there, day one, you go full speed. Day two, you go full speed. And I don't know if people realize this, but, like, the actual game stuff, like, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, we play on Monday.
Yes. In Monday, there will be a basketball game inside FedEx Forum.
Yeah.
It'll be
Pistons, I believe.
Detroit Pistons here for preseason game number 1. And presumably, hopefully, it'll be Ja Morant in the starting lineup and Jock Landale in the starting lineup. And then we'll put 3 dudes out there with them, and we'll see what it looks like. But, yeah, just to set the schedule for you, Monday, Monday,
Yeah, we got 3 home games next week.
Pistons at home. Wednesday, Celtics at home. Saturday, Hawks at home. After that, a 4th preseason game. That's October 15th. Hornets at home. And then 2 days after that, October 17th, final preseason game, Heat at home. So in total, 5 preseason games, 4 of them inside FedEx Forum, 1 on the road. Regular season opener then Wednesday, October 22nd against the Pelicans inside FedEx Forum. Tickets available, Grizzlies.com. It's here.
I'm ready. Just gotta stay afloat until we get all of our guys back. That's where I'm at. I mean, everything we just talked about with Jock Landale, like it's not only important with him as like a placeholder, like for Zach Edey, like he is gonna be a big part of this the whole season. Like they don't have a lot of depth at big, right? No. You know, and they're going to need him. This isn't like a Bismack Biyombo situation. This is a guy that they're gonna have to rely on all season.
His role might diminish as the season progresses, but he should still have a role.
Right.
And keep in mind, like, I don't know if you pay attention, but the idea of, like, if everybody's healthy, how much of a role does he really have? Everybody's never healthy. That's never what we're actually dealing with.
You said it.
It's not a thing.
Right.
That's not a thing that we... That's like, well, if the kids wake up on their own and jump out of bed and jump in the showers and, brush their teeth enthusiastically and grab their clothes and get all their homework and, kiss their mom goodbye and jump in the car, how awesome would that be? I have no idea how awesome that would be. I've never even come close to experiencing anything like that. Not one part of that is my daily routine. So we can talk about make-believe stuff if you want to, but like I'd rather talk about real life. Them kids ain't doing nothing on their own, and we're never as healthy as we'd like to be. Jock Landale, important Grizzly.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's go. Chris Vernon in studio next.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX 901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go!
Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish.
Defense, take that ball! Defense, take that ball!
Jared with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Bob, Brandon Clark.
Ooh, on that rim!
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio, and on Wednesdays in the second segment, I'm joined by Chris Vernon, host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon. Grind City Media, he's here right now. So it's day 2, Grizz training camp up in Nashville, and Jock Landale is obviously a big part of this preseason because he's not only a new face, but he's a new face who is likely to start at center on opening night. Let's stop there for a second. Is that an accurate way to put it? Likely to start on opening night?
For sure.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
Scottie Pippen Jr. It's a growth spurt. Maybe we'll try him.
Gigi looks pretty tall.
Who else we got?
Right.
I think Gigi grew a little bit.
I mean, I think the thing with Jock Landale, I thought it was interesting when we had Ty Jerome on the other day. One of the things that Ty Jerome said was, I said he had been on like 5 different teams, and then last year he had a really good chance. If it weren't for Peyton Pritchard, he might have ended up being 6th man of the year. Yeah. It's like kind of him and Pritchard and Beasley. He was great. I mean, he was a great bench player on a 60-plus win team. And so I asked him, I was like, did something just click last year? Because one of the things he said in passing, he was like, if you ever looked at the numbers, I was always doing what I was doing. Yeah. Basically, I just wasn't getting minutes, right? And so I said, did something click, or was it as simple as somebody just played me for once? And he said, more the second, right? I say that to say that's what you pray with Jock Landale, right? You hope these guys, they happen all the time in the NBA, right? And it's like, okay, here's a guy that's kind of had these backup roles for these different teams, never really found his spot. Obviously, you liked what you heard on Media Day about how he's like a dream fit for what Isola wants to do and the kind of the system and everything. And so I think what you pray, obviously, the ceiling is like what happened with a Jerome last year, where it's like, oh, wow, this guy really is good, but he's kind of buried in all these like, whether it was injuries or whether it was the wrong fit or the wrong team, whatever. And so what you pray is, though his minutes have been low throughout his career, like sometimes you find that fit and, you look and I think about it. And again, I'm not trying to put these expectations on the guy. But, if you were to rewind 4 or 5 years, people didn't think Isaiah Hartenstein's going to be the starting center on a title team. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Isaiah Hartenstein, it just kept getting better and better opportunities, and then obviously made the most of his opportunity at the Knicks, and then made even more of his opportunity at Oklahoma City. And so I think what you have to pray with Landale is, here is a guy that takes this job like super seriously. Here's your chance, bro. Right? Like, here is your chance.
Hey,
I will say, he has been a guy that when you have given him minutes, he has performed. Right. He has. Like, you can go look at, you can find, I got excited when they signed him because, of course, you can fall down the the YouTube wormhole, and it's like, Jock Landale owns Wemby and Jock Landale, right? But he has performed. Right. Like, it's not like, there's a lot of guys in the NBA that what you worry about is like, okay, here are the guys, you give them big minutes, and then they're not giving you the big production, right? Like, most guys in the NBA, if you're going to run them out there 25 to 35 minutes,
they'll do something.
They're going to give you production, right? And if they don't, you've got real concern, i.e., like, you kept throwing Zaire Williams out there, and it was like, it's an every once in a while type of deal. But like, in a guy, like, also a guy that is, this team needs role players, right? You have the stars, right? Willing role players. Guys that are willing to just play their role, and their job is to augment the stars. And so what you've got to hope is you have added those that are like sure thing role players, right? Like whether it is Jerome or whether it is KCP or whether it is or whether it is Landale or some of these others that you have added. And then what you've got, the trick is going to be, can those young guys, figure out how can I star in my role? Like the Wells, the Gigi, and Wells obviously went a long way towards doing that last year, but Wells, Gigi, Vince, all those other kind of guys.
With Landale, it's not always just about getting better. Like, obviously development is important, but sometimes it really is just getting with the right coach who believes in you, who will put you on the court. Like, sometimes it really is the coach that is holding players back. I don't think it's true as often as players say it.
Right.
But it is true sometimes. And I mentioned it sort of in passing, but I want to be specific with it. In Drew Hill's story at dailymemphian.com, there's an advanced metric called RAPM. You might be familiar with it. It's not something I study. But it basically tries to measure how much a player helps their team outscore opponents when they're on the floor, adjusting for who else is playing on their team and for the opponent. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, Landale's NBA career puts him in the top 5% of bigs in the association.
I'm sold.
Right. Like,
who cares what the stat is?
Right. I don't even know any more than that. In fact, I don't
even explain to me how it's calculated.
I don't even want to know more than that. I just want to believe that the Grizzlies have signed for less than $3 million. All NBA.
Yeah, I will say I did fall in love with him. Number one, I always love Australian guys and their accent. Number two, there was like a video of him that I watched after they signed him, and he's talking about how there was a bunch of guys on the Houston Rockets that weren't going to get to play, right? Like, you kind of knew, like, they weren't like regular rotation guys. He would gather them up after practices and make them play real games.
Right.
Like, he was the guy that, like, pulled it all together. And he was like, look, because just going through practice and then being like the guys that are standing on the sidelines while the other guys are going through it and whatever, it's like, that's not going to get you ready. If they do call your number, you've got to be able to go full speed. You've got to be able to play. And, like, by and large, everybody has unbelievable things to say about him as a locker room guy and as a bench guy there, and kind of being the guy that pulled all that together. And the more people you can get like that in the fold,
you want those people outnumbering the other people.
Yes.
And that's how you build the culture.
Yes.
The whole culture conversation, always in a simple form, is this: do the guys you want, like the guys who have the attitudes and approaches that you desire, do they outnumber the other guys?
Yes.
That's what you need.
Well, and you've also got two stars that are willing to let that happen.
Right.
Like, I mean, they're not the guys rallying everybody together. Right. And I think it's always been kind of weird. Like, there was still going to be, this is one of the things on the whole culture thing where, if it is Ja, Bane, and Jaren, it is their team and there is strength in number, right? You know what I mean? It's hard for a guy to come in and be the guy like, all right, we need to do it this way, we need to do it this way. I think it's a lot easier now for the KCPs and the Landales of the world to do that, right? And especially in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's, he knows what winning is. He knows how a winning team functions.
He's been a part of it.
We need him to be what Marcus Smart was supposed to be.
That's right. And
it's an open door. Like, I mean, you've got the opportunity to do it, and I do think he's got the gravitas. Those guys will all listen to him.
That's right. And I don't feel like there might be, and maybe I'm overstating it. I don't get the impression John and Jaren are bothered by that at all. Like, in other franchises, the faces of it might be like, I don't want this two-time world champion coming in here and telling it. I don't think they're bothered by it. I don't get the sense they're bothered by that at all.
No, because it's also one of those things that gets put on them, right? But like, you need the guy that's scheduling the team dinner. You need the guy saying, we're doing this. We're all going bowling. We're all going to do this. We're all going to be, and like, Smart left his heart in Boston.
That's right.
Like, it was just hard. It's the same way he was
heartbroken.
We got New Orleans Tony Allen, right?
Yes,
like, Tony was never going to be Tony in New Orleans.
No, he got divorced and he got sad.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but Caldwell Pope seems like he's got a new lease on life.
Yes.
And so it's like, all right, let's do it this way, right? And he's got that gravitas. He's been on championship teams, and he's also not like overbearing.
No.
You know what I memean? He's not like that was one of it's a fine line because, Fizdale comes in and he's like, this is how the Heat do it. And we need to have, we don't want to, like, okay, we don't have LeBron, Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we don't have LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, all right? But, and also, like, tried to pull the I know what it takes to win kind of thing, right? And it's very hard when it's your coach. Like, you need it to be people in the locker room. You really do.
And when KCP sat down with us the other day, I asked him specifically, like, everybody talks about championship culture. I don't know where it actually exists, but you've been a part of it at multiple places. What does that mean to you? And he started talking about bowling and dinners.
Yep.
And really emphasized, like, that stuff is important. And I think that's kind of true in all professions.
Sure.
Like, I could come in here every day at 9:55, sit down, do a show, get out of here, and it would be fine.
Yep.
We gain something when we're just out here in this room all goofing around, joking around. Like, there's something
It's the way it is.
It matters. That stuff matters.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Right?
And hopefully, like...
It's a big difference between when you're at the radio station. He didn't fraternize with nobody, did he? Tell him, Bennett.
He did not.
Not at all.
They didn't know who he was.
That joker walked in at 3:59.
He had been
Did
there.
his 2-hour show and left.
He had been there.
Sat in the dark every day.
Nah, he had been there.
Sat in the dark. Didn't even turn on the light.
Didn't turn on the light. Sat in the dark every day for 2 hours. Bennett couldn't even see me.
He had been there for a decade and went to the Christmas party. People didn't know who he was. Who didn't? He'd been there for a decade, went to the Christmas party. People didn't know who he was.
I have a real, like... There's something...
You didn't want to fraternize with anybody. They're all nerds.
There's something about me that makes me assume I'm just bothering people. Nobody really wants to talk to me. And so
The only time I would see you is the days I would come in. That joker would... When I was there, you would come in a little bit early. You had that office. That joker ate... Do you remember this? I don't know why this is such a vivid memory when we were at the radio station. You went through like a 6-month span where you ate the salad from Backyard Burgers
every day. Cranberry pecan chicken.
Every day. Do you remember this?
Apple pecan, cranberry pecan.
Every day.
I loved it. I thought I was being healthy.
Are they still around?
I don't know.
Are they all closed?
No, that one's back.
Is it back?
Yeah.
Are they all closed? They're not?
No, they're not. That one's back. The
'Cause
one over there in Park.
It's such a good salad. I would
that one on Union has had the sign up like
Back
closed
soon,
temporarily for like 6 years.
We don't
I'm
believe
like,
you.
it's not temporary
We
anymore.
don't believe you, Backyard Burger on
It's
Union.
not temporary.
This salad is
the
so
one
good.
right behind the Kroger.
Yeah.
I might
What
go.
is that?
I don't know
it's
what's
just
going on
blight.
there.
I don't know what they're doing. Dude, the fast food places on Union are like total hit or miss.
Yeah, what is going on there?
All right,
Buddy,
yeah.
I pulled into Taco Bell.
I can rank them all.
Go ahead.
All right. No. Do you know, boy, that Chipotle has gone downhill. There used to be one that I used to stop at every day when I started working down here. And it has been the bane of my existence that it was gone because I used to stop there all the time. It was called Pita Pit. And it was right there.
I remember
it was
that.
right
Yeah,
there
I
up
remember
across
Pita-
from where Five Guys was. Man, I miss Pita Pit so bad. And by the way, Pita Pit, I still think about this. Pita Pit is the only place, I'm not lying, and I've been all over the country and looked. I have never seen, I don't know how they pulled it, and I've never researched it, okay? They're the only place in the United States, and I'm talking a gas station, a store, a Walmart, a Publix, you name it,
Right.
that I have ever seen sour cream and onion baked Lays. It's a flavor like I don't think they make, except they had them at Pita Pit.
You know,
And it was like the individual bags, and I've never seen them before. I've never seen them since. I don't know if they were specially made for Pita Pit. It's the
They might
weirdest
have been.
thing. And so, anyways, I used to go there. I almost never stop. I'll do Smoothie King.
Right.
Obviously, Chick-fil-A is good.
Yeah.
Every Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A is good. They can't not be good.
I'm gonna give one shout out. And I've only stopped there one time, but I had the most unbelievable experience. Everybody that worked in the place was an adult. I was like, what in the world? It reminded me of, have you ever been to Buc-ee's?
Of course.
Okay. So at Buc-ee's, when we walked out of Buc-ee's, they had like a huge thing on the ground, like this huge sign, and it says what everybody gets paid.
Right.
So it's like, sign up to be assistant manager, and it's like 3 weeks vacation, 6% 401k match, $165,000 starting out assistant manager. And I was like, good grief. I'm like, people start like, well, why didn't everybody work at Buc-ee's? And I was like, you know what? They treat their employees well. They pay them well. They compensate them well. These people take pride in their jobs. They don't want to lose their job, right? This is the problem that we have with fast food places, right? People at Chick-fil-A don't want to lose their jobs.
I have a buddy who owns 2 Chick-fil-A's, and I asked him one time, we were at dinner, and I said, just what is the secret? Why does your drive-thru run so well? And like I go to Popeyes and I'm there for 45 minutes. He said, "You may tell you the secret about how to make a drive-thru run perfectly the way we do?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You have to care."
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
We care.
So you know who cares? I'm going to give him a shout out.
Okay.
Cookout.
Okay, Cookout.
I've never gone to that Cookout.
Everybody was adults.
I've never gone to Cookout.
I mean, the guy was like, the guy that like handed me my stuff was like, I don't know, probably like 45.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I look in the back. It's not high school kids, not kids, not nothing. And then they had, and I noticed this.
The same Buc-ee's thing.
Yes.
Huh.
What you get paid for working at Cookout. And I was like, damn, man, like you could have a good job. And then these people don't want to lose their jobs,
That's right.
Like, I mean, it's actually a decent paying job.
Yeah.
You know, you're working at a fast food place, but I came in here and I told them, I was like, you're never going to believe this. I was like, because I stopped. They're all horrible. The Taco Bell, the Burger King,
I pulled into Taco Bell one day and I was just sitting there.
That Taco Bell is tragic.
So bad.
That Taco Bell is tragic.
This is exactly what happened. I pulled in and I stopped at the speaker.
Yeah.
And normally they'll say, "Welcome to Taco Bell. Are you checking in with your mobile app?" or something like that. And they didn't say nothing. And I just sat there and they said nothing. And finally I was like, "Hello? Hello?" And I'm like, and then I had this moment, like I'm literally begging for Taco Bell. Like, what is wrong with me? I'm so gross.
The only 2 places I usually stop, so I've only done the Cookout thing the one time, and so maybe I just had an unbelievable experience. I'm not gonna, but I did want to give him a shout out. Tropical smoothie.
Yeah, that's the hidden gem of Union. That's
it runs quick. It runs like a top.
Quick, and you can't really see it.
Them jokers,
they
are on it.
5 minutes through.
And I'll stop at that Smoothie King next to the what's it called? The video game store.
So here's what happened at Taco Bell. I pull up, I go, "Hello, hello, hello," and I start feeling bad about myself because like I shouldn't even be here. Like, if I cared about myself at all, I wouldn't even be here. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse.
Like, why?
Honestly, because now they have given you the opportunity to think about what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm basically sitting there like, "Hey, please talk to me. Do you have some?
I don't want to do this anyway. I don't want to do this anyway.
I just want a cheesy gordita crunch.
I have absolutely no self-control. I shouldn't be doing this.
Even be here.
Now you're torturing me.
I shouldn't even. I'm embarrassed I'm even here. All right?
So it's for sure going to get diarrhea. Because I never eat this anymore.
All of this is just terrible.
I know.
So I'm like, "Hello, hello." And they said, "Hello?" They just hit me with a hello back. And I said, "Yeah, I was just trying to order. Can I order?" And the dude said, "Not right now."
Sit your ass there.
I said, "All right, I'll holler at you later." I didn't know what to do. They rejected my drive-thru.
No.
Yeah, they just rejected.
He said, not right now.
When? It was like
When?
He was like, "Man, I ain't got time for this right now." Basically. It felt like when I'm right in the middle of a column and my kids are like, "Hey, Dad, can you cook us something?" And I'm like, just not right now. Just give me a second. Can you give me 10 minutes?
God.
That's what it felt like. He was just like, "Man, I know you're hungry, but I ain't got time for this right now." I said, "I give up." The one on unions, they're tough, man. They're tough. So, hey, let me ask you another thing about KCP.
Let me hear it.
So we were talking about the culture, and then I brought up the 3-point percentage because it went down last year. And I've heard smart basketball people, and this is what I was trying to get to. I think he was bothered by the question before I got to the point. All he heard was below 35%. After he had bragged about, "I've carved out a role as a corner 3, I'm like, "Buddy, you were below 35%.
Damn.
But the point I was trying to make is, I bet you got different shots in Denver than you got in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, "No disrespect to anybody, but yeah, I was getting different shots, and I wasn't playing with a true point guard, and now I've got one." And do you think?
Yes, I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. Right. It's too big of a sample size to the contrary. Right? That's what we have to believe.
Yeah, right. What else are we going to believe?
Otherwise, the guy stinks.
Talk to me. Otherwise, he's a 32-year-old below 35% shooter. We have to believe in something.
Yeah, man, it's everybody else's fault. Otherwise, he stinks.
Otherwise, we traded a borderline all-star for a 32-year-old who can't shoot.
Dang.
I will say, I was telling these guys this video the other day, and it was this guy, and he was trashing American basketball, and I was like, all right, I'll hear you out. And so he was like, American basketball, he's like, I watch the NBA, and like this is a guy that, fan of like, obviously European basketball.
Right.
And he's like, in the NBA, and he's like, and what sense does this make to anybody? He's like, so you got your best player, or maybe your second best player, right? And he goes, and that guy's got the ball. And that guy dribbles for 20 seconds. Hey. And then with 4 seconds left, he throws it to the worst player on the team. And the worst player's got to shoot the ball. He's like, and it happens all game. And I was like,
that actually makes sense.
It's like, there is a lot of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, this is the whole, like, if you miss 3 threes when LeBron has driven into the lane and he kicks it out to you and you miss them, no, bro, you're done. You might have no career.
Yeah, now he's going to the free throw line and getting you traded at the deadline.
And to that point, KCP, we have seen him with, look, I also would say this, and this is being, though we joke when we're doing like the blame game, like, hey, there's a sample size of him being. The other sample size is when he played with the LeBron James team, when he played with the Nikola Jokic team, and obviously we don't have either of those guys, but John Morant gets people great shots, right? And he commands the attention in the same way. He generates open threes.
Yes.
End of story. Corner threes are available when you play with John Morant.
Just catch them and shoot them.
They just are, right? That Orlando offense objectively was horrendous. Right. Horrendous. By all measures, that Orlando offense was terrible. And so a guy that didn't function well within what was a bad offense, right? And I don't believe he is, he's not Paolo, he's not Franz, he's not Suggs, he's not one of the major guys on that team. But everybody agrees that was an offensively inept basketball team, but they won with defense. And he was their best perimeter defender, you know what I mean? Especially in the absence of Suggs, because Suggs didn't even really play much all last year. And he is mega durable, right? Like, I mean, look, he needs to be, and this is what we wanted with Smart. No.
I know.
It's the Dylan role.
Right.
Yeah.
Dylan, you need to be Dylan Brooks of making 38% of your threes or whatever, 37% of your, even if you shoot, right? If you shoot between 35 and 40%, that's a good shot, right? Mm-hmm. And so you need to be Dylan Brooks taking a volume of threes and making at a high clip. And I do think that's certainly a possibility.
Last thing before I get you out of here, big NBA headline. They got it done at Golden State. Kuminga, the Warriors agreed, 2 years, $48.5 million.
So bizarre.
Is it like
I don't think either. I was listening to Chris Collinsworth the other night, and he was telling this whole story about how after he talked to Jerry and he talked to Micah, it's just sad.
Right.
You walk away from both feeling like nobody wanted this to happen.
That's right.
That's kind of how I view the Kuminga contract, right? I think if you talk to both, they both walk away like,
we don't want you, and I don't want to be here.
Want him. He doesn't want to be there.
Right. No,
if they wanted him,
right,
bro, it's October,
right?
You know what I mean? But it's like the asset, and I do think
they just didn't want to lose the asset.
And also, by all accounts, the owner drafted him.
Right.
When Jonathan Kuminga, you could go back to his after he got drafted. After he got drafted, they did the press conference, and he talked about. They asked him about his interactions with Steve Kerr, and he was like, "I haven't talked to Steve Kerr. I went to dinner with Joe Lacob."
Right?
Come on, it's been like that since the beginning. So I think probably, Mike, I'm sure that now on Kuminga's side, if they weren't going to trade you,
Right.
because they didn't like the assets that they'd be able to bring back, right? And by all accounts, from the reporting from Sam Amick, they were scared. Like, not the rest of them. They don't care.
Right.
Lacob was scared he'd go be a star.
Right.
Right? Because Sacramento was the big one that,
Right.
like, kind of wanted him. And so they were saying, he's like, the worst thing, is to move him to Sacramento and then him blow up and become a star. And I don't think they had that concern. On Kuminga's side, in the absence of getting traded, bro, there's no way you could play that qualifying offer out. Like, I think it is insane what Cam Thomas is doing.
Right.
Like, truly insane what he's doing. Number one, you risk injury. Number two, these teams are going to screw with your minutes and roll. Like, he already going into free agency this year, he played him 0 minutes in the Houston series. He doesn't care.
Right.
So play on a qualifying offer and see how involved you are within this context, because you're not going to be involved and your price is not going up. And so in the Cam Thomas thing, bro, I'd have taken my $20-something million
because
or whatever.
you play, and you mentioned the injury thing, and I know it rarely happens, but it does. Like, Isaiah Thomas cost himself
the other
hundreds of millions of dollars.
How about this on the Cam Thomas front, bro? Act like they're not going to get to March and go, we're running out the 5 guys, literally 5 guys we just drafted.
That's right.
We're trying to have 0 wins.
Right.
Like, we want to get the number 1 pick in the draft, and like, this is a rebuild.
Even if
or
you're
whatever.
good, okay, we don't want to play you.
We
if
don't
you're
want
good.
you out there shooting freaking, scoring 38 and winning a game for us. No. They're going to screw him up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think Kuminga, the same thing, right? They just did it.
Right.
He played 0 minutes, bro.
And there's something to be
0.
And then you're going.
Even if you want to say Steve Kerr's a dick, I mean.
But you're going back to play for somebody who doesn't appreciate you, doesn't like you, doesn't value you. That's just a hard relationship to have.
Can you imagine? I mean, 0 minutes in the playoffs.
Right.
That is tough.
I mean, I guess on Kuminga's side, I guess from the Warriors side, you just don't want to lose the asset. From Kuminga's side, it's just like you take the $50 million.
Well, no, you hope that you get traded.
Right.
You hope that you get traded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you've got a palatable contract that somebody will trade for it.
Right.
And so once you get to before February, they'll trade you.
Right.
And then, and then evidently the second part of the contract can just be ripped up.
Right.
That's what they said.
There's a team option.
The intention was.
Right.
So I think if you're him, you probably just, all right, let's just
you
play
sign
this
it,
out.
show up, and let's.
I mean, at worst, I've got $48 million.
That's right. That's the worst.
Well, I guess 24, and then.
Yeah.
But I've at least got an opportunity.
Right.
For them to trade me, because if they're saying we're not trading you right now.
Right.
Bro, I would never play on that qualifying offer.
Yeah, but you could sign this deal and then
Not
start.
with the amount of money they make now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the age that he is.
Right.
Bro, if you pop off, you could end up with $200 million.
Right.
And
But on this, he could sign this yesterday and then start. He could hold his hand up and say, "But I want to be traded."
Sure.
And then start that process.
He has.
Right.
Like literally for the last 2 years.
Right. Yeah. So that's good. But like, he could make it difficult for them. If you're not gonna value me, I'll show up every day. But I'm gonna ask Jimmy Butler how he does it.
Yeah.
We could do one of those. I'm gonna go talk to Jimmy, see how he handles these situations, and I'll get back to you.
Real leadership.
Yeah. I need to go talk to Jimmy, figure out how I'm gonna get out of here. We'll figure it. That's Chris Vernon. He's going to be in the big studio in 1 hour and 7 minutes. Chris Vernon Show starting at noon on Grind City Media. When we come back, what we used to know as Memphis Madness is now called something different. It's going to be different because it's going to be outside. We're doing it on Bill Street. How does Bennett like the idea of a Memphis Tigers basketball celebration on Bill Street? Because that's what we're getting. It's coming up later this month. Talk about it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Jaron Jackson has a message for y'all. Jaron, say it now.
What?
It's the best show in the world.
Yeah, Trip. When I showed up at the event last night, he goes, "You got the biggest show in the world." And I said, "No, I really don't." And he goes, "To me, you do. I see you every day." I asked him why he doesn't just walk up here, and he's like, "Because I don't want you to be able to prepare." I was like,
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The boy is mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go!
Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish.
Defense, take them ball! Defense, take them ball!
Jared with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Bob, Brendan Clark.
On that rim!
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Penny Hardaway is bringing Memphis basketball to Beale Street for a preseason fan event. That's the headline, commercialappeal.com. It is what you have come to know as
madness.
Memphis Madness. They're not technically calling it Memphis Madness,
Okay.
but it is a madness-like festivity to celebrate Tiger basketball. It's going to be held on October 16th, right out here on Beale Street.
Okay.
And you're going to have a shooting competition between the men's team and the women's team. Penny Hardaway will speak to the crowd. The players and coaches are going to sign autographs and take pictures. You're going to have like a festival set up inside Handy Park where I assume we'll have, food trucks and whatever else kind of stuff you have over there. Maybe face painting.
Yeah.
I like a good face painting.
I love face painting.
Not my own.
I'll paint my face. My kid loves it. Anywhere we go and there's face painting, we're getting a face painting.
Kids love to get their face
They love
painted.
the face painting, yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it just looks cool. It looks neat.
It looks neat.
Yeah.
Kids just like to look neat.
Yeah.
Paint their face. Fine with me. What do I care?
Me too.
So, how you feel about this? Because we've had a bunch of there's a bunch of different ways we've done this.
Yep.
We've done it at FedEx Forum and filled the place up, and it was amazing. We've done it at FedEx Forum, it was empty.
Yep.
And that's less amazing.
Yep.
We've done it at the Elma Roan Fieldhouse, and I don't know what that was, but I know what happened.
Yep.
We've not done it. Some people said, hey, if we can't do it big, let's just not do it. And I understood that perspective. And now we're doing it outside on Beale Street. What do you think?
I do like. I'm cool with wanting to do an event to get ready and kick off the season. That's fine. I mean, First off, who does Madness still? Not everybody.
Not everybody.
No.
Kansas does a big one late night at the Fog.
Yeah.
I've been there, and they pack Allen Fieldhouse, and it's great.
Right. That's Kansas.
Kentucky does a big one.
Well, that's Kentucky.
Right. And
right.
Indiana does a big one.
And that's Indy. So, like, the big historic programs are still doing it.
This is what I've tried to say for years. In this market, we put so much emphasis on attendance at everything. We're just constantly talking about how many people were at something.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if that's unique to Memphis, but
I think it is, and I think there's a lot of circumstances that make it that way.
I do think it's more emphasized in Memphis than it is other places, whether it's unique or not. So we're always talking about how many people are where. And the truth is, just a October glorified pep rally for a college basketball team is not something that's going to draw big numbers outside of places like Kentucky, Kansas, Indiana, and just a small handful of other places. When you have Derrick Rose joining an Elite Eight team and some publications are making you the preseason number one and John Calipari is your coach, then you can have it at FedEx Forum and fill it up and make it awesome. When Josh Pastner is getting ready for year one and you want to show not only the country, but yourself that you're bigger than one man, you can have it at FedEx Forum and people will show up and support that. It's like a rallying cry around Tiger basketball after being left by John Calipari.
Yeah.
That works.
Didn't Tubby come out on a motorcycle one time?
He crashed a motorcycle one time.
Yeah, I know he came out on his motorcycle one time.
And so that's less awesome. There are times and situations where it works.
Cool.
My opinion, for the most part, has always been this. If you can have an awesome Madness event, you should have it. Hurts nothing. Gets people excited. But if you're going to have an event that is widely seen as disappointing, lackluster, boring, lightly attended, you should just skip it because you don't have to do it. And I will never understand the idea of, and this goes for basically any business, including a college basketball program, which is a business. I've never understood why you would spend money, resources, and energy to create an event that is going to get laughed at, that is going to get mocked. If that's your reality, you should not do the event. So I think it's smart to not have it in FedEx Forum.
Yes.
Because it would look empty. People would compare it to past versions and then get really sad. People would say, I remember that time in October 2007, we came downtown, Derrick Rose was there. We had a team that a lot of people thought was going to go to the Final Four. As you know, it ultimately did. And man, that was something. And now look, there's 800 people standing around the court. You don't want that.
No.
So the options would be find something that works or don't do it. And I don't know if this will work outside on Bill Street, but I'm open-minded enough to say I can envision it being something that isn't made fun of on October 17th.
So what I would say is I like that they're trying something different. And I'm with you. Like, I don't think you have to do it. Like,
you don't have to do it
at all. But I like that they're doing something different. And I like the idea that they're doing it on Beale Street because Beale Street is an attraction in its own right.
That's right.
So you don't have, like, if you're coming to Memphis Madness at FedEx Forum or at El Marone Fieldhouse, you are coming to watch the men's basketball team and women's basketball team scrimmage against each other at those locations. Like, that's what you're coming, and maybe someone performs, right? That's what you're hoping for. Okay. Here, it's, hey, let's go meet our new Tigers, and then we can go have a drink or get dinner on Beale Street or somewhere downtown.
Exactly
like, there's something else baked into it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be there on October 16th because I'm not sure if I'll be in town. But
oh yeah, it's that time of year.
But if I were to try to wrap my head around this as like something I want to do, because I have reached the point in my life where I do think it's important to support things, whether it's the Grizzlies or the Tigers or the Rock and Soul Museum, anything. I just think like we have these things and they're not promised, and we should enjoy them and support them because not everything can be taken away, but certainly some things can be.
Yes.
I think it's important to show up if you can. And if I were trying to, in the spirit of that, wrap my head around the idea of going to what amounts to a Memphis Madness on October 16th, that's a Thursday night on Beale Street, I would say, hey, let's get out of school, get the homework done. The temperature's starting to cool down. It'll be a nice night in downtown Memphis. Let's pop down. It starts at 6. We'll get there around that time. I'm sure we won't miss anything too important. Hang out, grab a drink, let the kids, they'll have the big, inflatables.
Yeah, Pouncer will be there.
Yeah, they'll have the inflatables. You'd shoot basketballs at them and jump around and go down there and probably get a snow cone. Maybe somebody will get a face painted. Let them take a picture with Penny Hardaway. Let them take a picture with Aaron Bradshaw. Then let's go grab dinner at Central or Rendezvous or wherever you want to go. Maybe get a diver from Silky's. Like, you can just brainstorm in here. And let's make a night of it. A nice night in downtown Memphis. And this is what we were talking about, in recent weeks and months as downtown Memphis has become a topic of conversation. I was talking with Jess about this the other day. When we start talking about the lease agreement and the issues facing downtown and how the Grizzlies want to not only improve downtown, but improve the perception of downtown. Both of these things are very important. And so the question people would point back at me is like, how do you improve the perception of downtown? And I really don't think it's like with statistics and numbers, because I don't know if you pay attention, but people don't believe anything anymore.
Correct.
You can tell them any numbers.
That's right.
And they don't believe them. Whether they're true or not, people believe. We've reached a point as a country, people believe whatever they want to believe. Like, there can be polling numbers that come out that say one thing, and there's always going to be a segment of the population that says, I don't believe that. I don't believe that number. There's approval ratings come out. And then the president holds a press conference and just says, well, yeah, that's not true. I'm the most popular president in the history of the planet. I know that's not an exact quote, but you get the point. So these statistics that community leaders try to trot out sometimes, I'm just telling you, congrats on your numbers, but that's not helpful, practically speaking, because people they don't believe them. Mm. How do you fix the perception problem? Here's how I actually would answer that question. You need to have events in downtown Memphis that are compelling enough that people want to go to them, no matter what they think about downtown Memphis.
It needs to be popping off.
They just go, hey, I got my concerns or reservations or whatever you've conjured up in your head, real or otherwise, but I ain't missing this. I want to go. And then they go and they park and they walk and they experience. And when they leave there, you know what they say?
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Mm-hmm. What a nice night. What an incredible night. Went downtown, saw Penny and the Tigers.
Made a great meal.
Had a great meal. Had a nice drink. Saw some old friends. Took some pictures. My kids got to bounce up and down Bill Street. People from all over the world fly here just to put their feet on that street. That's just where we were tonight. No big deal, because this is where we live. That's what you need. You need people to feel that. The past few times I brought my family downtown, it's been awesome experiences. We'll pop into the Rendezvous. We'll pop into the Peabody. We'll walk around, have a good time. People need to feel that. And I'm not trying to pretend a Memphis madness on Bill Street is going to draw people like a Taylor Swift concert inside FedEx Forum, but it will bring people to Bill Street. It'll bring people to downtown Memphis. It'll bring people to this place that, has gone through it a little bit and isn't what it used to be. Argue with somebody else. It's not. Ask anybody who owns a business downtown. It's not. You see big story yesterday. I don't know if it's a big story. I was just reading everything. A big hotel downtown Memphis.
The DoubleTree.
Yeah, closing. And do you know why they're closing? There's no demand for hotel rooms in downtown Memphis, or at least the demand has dwindled. The occupancy numbers at all of these hotels are not where they need to be. So one is shutting down. And when you ask, the experts who were quoted in the paper, so why is demand for hotel rooms in downtown Memphis down? You know what they say? Crime and the perception of crime. We have to change that. And bringing people downtown and allowing them to have wonderful experiences is the best way I know how to change that. You're not going to be able to talk people into it. You can hold every press conference you want to, hold up all your numbers. That won't do it. The way to do it is people got to be here and enjoy it. and say things like, I'm glad we did that, and I can't wait to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you fix it. And so hopefully on some very small level, this event can be that. Yes, a celebration of a basketball team, a celebration of the program that Penny Hardaway is running, a celebration of all the good things that are going on in the athletic department at the University of Memphis right now. Football program, women's soccer program, some good stuff happening. Celebration of the University of Memphis, sure. But also, let's just all be outside together on Bill Street and have a good time, with our most famous Memphian, Penny Hardaway, at the center of it all. That's a good way to spend a Thursday night.
I'm in.
I hope it goes well.
Number 2.
Man, you know who I'm glad I'm not? The WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert.
That was wild.
Woo!
That was wild.
She's done.
Well, it sounds like, the last thing I saw was the rumor was, I don't know if it was a rumor or a report that she's probably going to.
It was a report.
That she's going to step down.
The WNBA pushed back on the report, but there is a report saying once the CBA is done, and who knows when that's going to get done,
right?
She will gracefully exit her role as commissioner of the WNBA. This is all story because Minnesota Lynx star Nafisa Collier, who finished second in MVP voting this year, held her press conference at exit interviews.
Yeah, she brought some notes.
She had notes. She had a prepared statement. A little bit like you showing up to talk, about
the Hogs,
about the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
You had your notes printed out and prepared. Nafisa Collier had her notes printed out and prepared. And she went as hard at her commissioner as I think I've ever heard any professional athlete, serious professional athlete, go at their commissioner.
Yes.
Let me be more specific about what I'm saying. You're always going to get somebody.
I was trying to think.
You're always going to get somebody who just pops off. Like Antonio Brown might say something crazy about Roger Goodell, but who cares? It's Antonio Brown. He's a crazy person, right?
No, this was here's why you're not doing a good job.
This is a serious woman.
Yeah.
Who is respected. And she, in plain terms, held you up as the worst commissioner in the history of sports. She said we have wonderful players and we have wonderful fans. We have the worst leadership of any league. And what makes it worse for Kathy Engelbert is that it wasn't like the rest of the league just sort of sat back quietly and was like, "Ooh, wow, did you hear what Nafisa Collier said?" Or even better than that for her would have been people coming out to her defense. Nafisa Collier's wonderful. We respect her, blah, blah, blah. But Kathy's great, and Fee's just frustrated. And obviously, these are tense times because the CBA does expire at the end of this year. And, we had T-shirts at the All-Star game, and it's just emotions are high. But, we have good leadership. We have great players. We're going to figure this out. That'd been nice if you're Kathy Engelbert to hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of that. It was just piling on. Everybody was just like, retweet, like, cosign, quote tweet, however you do it. Sophie Cunningham, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, everybody. And the quote that seems to have gotten her, Kathy Engelbert, in a lot of trouble, according to Nafisa Collier, is that Fee says she had a conversation with her at one point about, the negotiations that are ongoing and the players' desire to make more money than they're making, which we'll get to in a second because it is crazy. And according to Nafisa Collier, Kathy Engelbert said Caitlin Clark should be on her knees thanking the WNBA for giving her this opportunity to make $16 million in endorsements, because without the WNBA, she wouldn't be able to do that. She would have no platform, which is a crazy thing to say about your young global superstar, even if it's true. Crazy thing to say, even if it's true. The problem for Kathy is it's not even true. It's stupid. Caitlin Clark could start her own league tomorrow and become a billionaire. She does not need the WNBA at all. Kathy Engelbert's got this completely backwards. The truth is, Kathy Engelbert should be on her knees begging Caitlin Clark to continue to be the face of this thing and promising her we're going to make it worth your while. To act like Caitlin Clark owes you something? The only reason you have a league that is gaining momentum for the first time in 3 decades is because of Caitlin Clark. You think she should be on her knees thanking you or the league for the platform? Iowa gave her the platform. The Big Ten gave her the platform. She was a star long before she got to you and doesn't need you at all. And I don't want to speak for Caitlin Clark because she declined comment on this. Everybody else talked about it. I think this is one of those where you can just let everybody else say it and you can stay above it a little bit. So she is. But keep pushing her. And you might get to a place you don't want it all. Vernon was talking about Jerry Jones, Michael Parsons, how it feels like neither one of them really want where they're at right now. I don't think Caitlin Clark wants to shun the WNBA. I think she probably feels some responsibility to take it to a new place, the same way Magic and Larry took the NBA to a new place, then Michael Jordan takes the NBA to a new place. I think I get the sense she feels that responsibility, but push her to a place where she doesn't. Push her to a place where she gets resentful, because I think most people know these kind of numbers. Like, do you have a sense for what she makes from the WNBA? She's making $78,000 from the WNBA this year. She made $77,000 last year. Year 3 contract next year, $86,000. Year 4, $98,000. That's insane. That's like, she could just announce she's going to shoot free throws at Carver Hawkeye Arena on Saturday and charge $10 a ticket and sell popcorn and Kit Kats and make more than she makes playing an entire season in the WNBA. Again, I think she feels like she has an obligation as the face of the sport, as this generational talent, to elevate the league. But push her to a place where she doesn't feel that anymore. Let her say, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just go do this unrivaled thing or my own thing, but I don't need to play for $80,000. Because think about this. If you make $16 million doing something else, why do you want to do anything for $80,000?
Right.
Over a span of several months, making these other people... She sells it. Imagine if you heard Roman Reigns made $80,000 a year, selling out arenas multiple times a week. That's what Caitlin Clark's doing, making $80,000 a year. Now, all of this is the CBA's expired. This is why the negotiations are tense, because this is about to change dramatically, or it should. But this is the craziest part of all of it. And it's one of those where people are arguing it from different perspectives, and you never quite get the full truth from either side. So what the WNBA side would argue is that, like, hey, this league's never made money, like quite literally has never made money. So like you could keep asking for all this money, but like we've just been losing money forever. And that's always been the argument against increased salaries, is like, we're losing money. You want a certain percentage of our profits? We don't have any profits, all right? You should be appreciative of what we have. That's changed now. That's just not true anymore. These franchises are being sold for $250 million. Like the Fever are valued at excess of $300 million. The Aces are, up there, hundreds of millions of dollars. People are buying these franchises for hundreds of millions of dollars. So you can show me on your spreadsheet how you're, quote, not making money, but like you own a franchise that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. All right? That's an asset. So this is where the negotiations start. Well, we've never made money. Okay, cool, but you are now. And these franchises have never been worth more, and they are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The face of the league shouldn't be making less than $80,000, right, which is the current CBA. Just for some context, in the NFL, there's something you hear in the NBA, basketball-related income, in the NFL, football-related income, but it's like basically all the revenue from the league, right? Television contracts, everything, right? And the way these things are typically negotiated, I'm being rough with the numbers here, but you'll get the point. Like in the NBA, it's basically 50%. Here's how much money the league makes. Now we're going to reinvest 50% of that money into the players, and that's how you create the salary cap. I'm oversimplifying it, but you get the point. NFL is about 48, 49%, somewhere in that range. Do you know what the percentage of basketball-related income WNBA players get? I just told you in the NFL it's about 50-50. In the NBA, it's about 50-50. You know what it is in the WNBA? About 90-10. Oh, the league keeps about 90, and the players only get about 10. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And they want that to go to about 50-50, which I don't think is too big of an ask because that is what the other professional sports leagues do. And I don't really care that the league hasn't made money for 30 years because that's the past. Like, you're making money now. Be like, think of you owned a restaurant. It didn't make money for 30 years, but in year 31, it became the most popular restaurant in the world, and you had lines out the door, and you're making $1 million a day. And you're still looking at your employees like, well, yeah, here's $11 an hour. This is all I can do. You know, for 30 years, we didn't really make money at all. Okay. And for 30 years, I was just taking my $11 an hour. But now I see the lines. I know what you're making now. I ain't going to keep doing this job for $11 an hour while you're making billions of dollars. And that's exaggerated, but you get the point. And Nafisa Collier just put it on the commissioner yesterday. And having so many people within the league, other players, coaches, co-sign it, the WNBA needs to be careful right now. You've got a lot of very famous women with big platforms who are upset with you, don't feel appreciated. And you keep talking about the past 30 years, and they're talking about right now. They're talking about, hey, I'm looking up right now. I used to walk onto this court, and you're right. Nobody was here. You were right. But look up now. You know? Look up now. Everybody's here. And we need to be paid in accordance with that. So the negotiations will happen, and most people think it's going to be a lockout. They're not going to be able to agree.
Uh-oh.
And there's going to be a lockout. But if I was the WNBA, I'd be real careful. You've got something special right now that people are interested in. They also do have an alternative option to go play basketball less frequently for more money. So you locking them out? Ooh, what are they going to do? Jump on social media and make a lot of money? Capitalize on their endorsement deals? And there is another basketball league based in South Florida. They can go dribble, shoot, and pass 3-on-3 and make a decent living and keep their profiles pretty high and cash in on all the endorsements. You ain't killing them the way you think you're killing them. Perhaps some, but not all, and not the biggest. Not the ones who are going to have the most influence. Caitlin Clark ain't going to starve to death getting locked out of the WNBA. Neither is Angel Reese. So some of the people who you're trying to, typically the leagues do have a big advantage in negotiations over the players because the players, millionaires, that money dries up quicker than it does for billionaires. But this is a situation where these women can wait them out. They can wait them out. At least some of them can. The ones with the most influence, they can wait them out. And if I were the WNBA, I'd be real careful about trying to play hardball here because you are in a unique situation where there is at least one woman who's bigger than your entire league. That's not true other places. Patrick Mahomes is not bigger than the NFL. Neither is Josh Allen. Neither is Saquon Barkley, whoever you want to make the face of the thing. Steph Curry is not bigger than the NBA. Neither is LeBron James. The NBA was here before them, operating at a high level. It'll be here after them, operating at a high level. The NFL was before Patrick Mahomes, operating at a high level. It'll be here after him. Caitlin Clark is bigger than the WNBA. And this is not the time to be playing hardball with her or these other women who have elevated this league. If you try to negotiate too hard, you're going to end up in a lockout, and it'll be the WNBA that pays a price for it, more so than the faces of the WNBA.
Number 3.
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are going at it.
What's up?
Man, you tell me what's up. I don't really know.
I didn't know this. I knew they didn't like each other.
Oh, they ain't liked each other for a while.
Yeah.
They almost got into a fight at the Met Gala.
Right.
Yeah. They don't like each other. Why do you think they don't like each other? Jealousy. Think it's jealousy?
Yeah, I mean, I think some people would say that Cardi is like, the new Nicki Minaj, right?
You calling her an industry plant?
No, I'm saying like
Nicki Minaj was the queen of rap, and then Cardi
one time, and now Cardi B is.
And now here comes
well, I would say Big Glow is, but you know what I'm saying.
I would say Big Glow.
I would say Big Glow.
I would
is,
say Big Glow. Hey, Big Glow gets along with not everybody.
She does. It seems like she does.
Well, no, she went at somebody a couple weeks ago.
Who'd she go at?
Oh God, I can't remember. She went at somebody pretty good.
I mean,
I think she went at Young Thug and somebody else. Maybe.
Oh, it was. She did. She read a diss track.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't keep up, man.
That was awesome, by the way.
I can't keep. It was funny. I can't keep up with it. It's too much. Anyway, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, they hate each other. All right. Cardi's got a new album out, and apparently Nicki Minaj has been shitting on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cardi, she says she's had enough.
Okay.
I just read you some tweets best I can. This is Cardi addressing Nicki Minaj on Twitter last night.
Okay.
Wait, bring that ass here. You talking about my father? Apparently, Nicki Minaj was talking about Cardi B's father.
Okay.
Which is out of line. I think we all agree.
Yeah.
I think if you think that's out of line, you wait till you see where we get to.
Okay.
You talking about my father? My father never been to jail a day in his life. Go get a detective and tell them to run them records. Don't put them dirty-ass allegations from your bloodline on mine. Your daddy was a crackhead and your brother was raping his stepchild. You got medical records on me? Post them, bitch. You gonna leave me the F alone today. Okay. You might think she might shut her computer and call it a day after that. Not even close. Bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Nicki Minaj called Cardi B's daughter ugly. That's tough.
That's out of line.
I think out of line. You shouldn't call somebody's kids ugly, even when they are.
Who? Culture?
Yeah, and Culture's not ugly. That's the thing. Culture's beautiful.
That's out of line.
I think so too. Cardi said, "Bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Culture is beautiful, and you know that." Here's where it takes a turn.
Careful.
Your hate is so deep, dark, and nasty because your son is nonverbal. Because you effed him up with them drugs. So you jealous of everybody's kids and their happiness. All right.
That's intense.
I can't speak on
I don't like speaking on the kids.
Yeah. I feel like that's none of my business. I shouldn't even know.
Talking about
I feel like I shouldn't even know if Nicki Minaj is
like your daddy's
son.
a crackhead, that's okay.
I don't feel like I should know if Nicki Minaj's brother was raping his stepchild. I don't feel like that's something I needed to know. You know, I feel like that should be their own business, not mine. But it was on Twitter. She also said Nicki Minaj couldn't have children without reproduction help because those perks had scrambled up her eggs. They called each other cokeheads and stuff too. I don't know where it goes from here.
Can the perks do that?
I don't know if perks can scramble your eggs. I have to ask I guess RFK Jr. I guess would have to. Jesus. Secretary Kennedy, can perks scramble your eggs? We need to get Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to hold a press conference, and we need to ask the question. Secretary Kennedy, appreciate your time. According to Cardi B, perks can scramble your eggs. Do we know if that's true?
I don't think she can prove that. It's a pretty well-known prescribed medication.
What do you think's worse for you if you're trying to conceive? Tylenol or perks? I don't know.
I don't either. I don't want to. I wouldn't even pretend to know.
I wouldn't even pretend to know.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like to do that, but I will not. I won't pretend to know.
I couldn't even pretend to know. Hey, anyway, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, they were going to fight. They were saying drop the location.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Cardi's pregnant.
Netflix.
Cardi B, I would 100% watch that.
Hell yeah.
Do you have a team? Are you team Cardi or are you team Nicki?
I think I'm team Cardi, and here's why.
Okay.
I just think that Nicki seems like a hater as she's gotten older.
That's exactly what she is.
She hates on the up and comers.
She is not.
I mean, Cardi B's not an up and comer; she's a star. But I'm saying she's been hating on her for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
She hasn't aged gracefully.
I think that's true.
You have to age gracefully. You have to welcome. You can't be the king or queen of anything forever, and you have to. It's just, I always find it more impressive.
Like LeBron James isn't out here talking about how the new guys coming into the league suck at basketball or they don't play the game the way that he did when he came into the league.
Imagine
you know what I'm
if
saying?
you heard a quote from LeBron James today talking about Cooper Flag sucks.
Right.
It'd just be like, what are you doing? And that is what she does. She does it that not every young female rapper, but lots of them. She has not aged gracefully. I'm always more impressed when I hear people older people compliment younger people, particularly when they're doing like compelling work.
No, we talked about this. It's like people our age that hate on, people, new artists, like new people coming up in music, right?
It's like, I can't remember. I read an essay one time. I think it was maybe Lou Reed. About Kanye West back before all the...
I believe that's true. I think you're right.
Before it went sideways. When we were just talking, when Kanye West would come up and we would just talk about the music. I guess that's never really been the case, but it was certainly more the case once upon a time.
Yeah.
This is basically after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came out. I think it was a Lou Reed essay. And Lou Reed, like this icon, wrote an essay about that album and about Kanye. Maybe it was the Yeezus album. I could be getting this all mixed up. Anyway, he was just, I think it was the Yeezus album. He was just like, this is brilliant. You guys have no idea what's happening here. This is genius level stuff. And I just loved that here's this aged icon from a total different genre of music, the type of person who looks and is of the age where most people like look down on hip hop at that time, or anything that doesn't have traditional guitars and whatever. Although the Kanye albums did have traditional guitars in there. And I just love the idea that here's somebody who is probably conditioned to just be like, I don't even listen to it. It just sounds like noise to me. But like saying, hey, I know I'm old and I know this isn't really my genre of music, but I'm open-minded. And here's a young guy making incredible music. And I hope you guys understand what it is. I just thought that was awesome. And I anytime I see that, I love in basketball, the former players who are commentators, I love the ones who compliment the players, the young guys, more than just shit on them all the time. I remember being young in radio, and like it meant something to me if one of the older radio people said something nice about me or was just complimentary. It just like it mattered to me. And you've never heard me say a negative word about a younger person in this industry. Whether I bring in Jason Munns, DeMichael Cole, I try to be complimentary. Because it's sincere. Like I think they're great at their jobs. But I can remember being young and having older people compliment me. And it meant something. And I try to return those favors whenever I can. And this is a long way to get back to this. But Nicki Minaj isn't, like, every time I see her, she's just trashing somebody.
Hating, yeah.
She's just hating. And so, yeah, I'm Team Cardi too. She seems more welcoming. She's funnier.
No question.
And that's good enough for me. Team Cardi. You're Team Cardi?
Yes.
We're Team Cardi. We're Team Cardi, but I hope they keep going back and forth on Twitter because I don't know if it's good for anybody, but it's fun.
Yes.
I like it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Cleveland Browns have a new quarterback. Joe Flacco has been benched. Dylan Gabriel will start against the Vikings in London. Another rookie getting his opportunity.
That's a tough spot against that Vikings defense.
Yeah. I don't know if you want that. Shadur Sanders stays a third-string quarterback. He's still QB3. Joe Flacco now QB2. Dylan Gabriel QB1. So this is kind of unfolding the way we thought. Well, every time we talked about the Browns in the preseason, it was like, listen, they're all going to play because none of them are any good. So Joe Flacco get first shot at it, and then he'll stink. And then they'll say, well, we got to do something. And so here we are. We've reached that. And now Dylan Gabriel will probably stink. And then they'll
see.
I mean, probably. I think that's the safest thing I could say. He will probably not be good.
I do not think they will go back to Joe Flacco, even though he's QB2. Let's say Dylan Gabriel stinks for 3 games, and it's like, okay, well, are we going to do this the rest of the season? I don't think they'll go back to Joe Flacco.
And then you're going to find out, this is what you're going to find out. How much does that coaching staff like or hate Shadur Sanders?
Right.
Because if they don't hate him, and they don't even have to like him, it's just if they don't hate him, they'll go to him eventually.
Yeah.
But they might hate him.
Right.
And just flip-flop back in between Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel.
Like, I think the likely scenario is Dylan Gabriel plays this season out. Like, if you made me choose what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to be Dylan Gabriel plays the rest of the season no matter what happens. If he's bad the rest of the season, he'll just be the quarterback the rest of the season.
He cannot be bad the rest of the season because it's a long season and they will be screaming for Shedeur Sanders.
Right. But that's
I'm just saying you'll have that. You can do it, but you'll hear it all year, every day. It'll be a thing every day.
And to your point, like, we're gonna know. Like, now Dylan Gabriel might be awesome and the decision's made, but if he's not, we'll know if they hate Shedeur or not.
That will be what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If they don't hate him, they'll eventually hand him the ball and say, "All right, let's go see.
Mm-hmm.
You've been saying since week 3 you're better than some starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go see." All right. If they don't hate him, they'll do that. They might hate him so much they will never give him the ball. I think he plays at some point.
I don't. I think Dylan Gabriel's going to be okay. That's what I think.
What are you basing that on?
Well, they've got
all the history of Brown's rookie quarterbacks being okay.
Correct. Yes, man, they're great quarterback history. Yeah, that's right.
The rookie quarterbacks aren't great. Their 40-year quarterbacks aren't great. Just like you play quarterback in Cleveland, you can't be great. That seems to be law.
I think they're in a different situation that, say, like a Jackson Dart is in. Like, Jackson Dart's going to have to go be great in New York because
he's already great in New York. What are you talking about?
I know. They got a big win.
He's great already.
I know. But, like, Dylan Gabriel has a great defense, and so that's going to help him. Like, if he is competent, he should be good enough to stay the starting quarterback the rest of the season for that team.
You know how hard it is to be competent as a rookie? They're not all Jackson Darts.
Okay.
It's very difficult to be competent as a rookie NFL quarterback. They're not all Jackson Darts.
It is pretty insane that
he just came out and was awesome.
It is pretty insane that Jackson Dart and Dylan Gabriel are starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and Shedeur Sanders is a third-string quarterback for the Browns. Like, think about if I told you that in draft season, like when we're preparing for the NFL draft.
Well, I don't know that it would have made sense for much of the draft process, but by the time we got to draft day, it was starting to look like it was going to go that way.
Pretty clear, yeah.
So anyway, hey, good luck to Dylan Gabriel. I hope it works out.
I do too.
I'm not sure that it will.
Okay, we'll see.
But
I mean, it never does for the Browns, so there's that. It literally never works out. So,
Cardi said Nikki's son is nonverbal because she effed him up with drugs.
I don't love that.
That's one way. Yeah, you might need to leave the kids out of it.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Day 1 of the MLB playoffs was yesterday. Day 2 is today. First game of the day starting in about 20 minutes or so.
I'm an idiot.
Why are you an idiot?
You know I love the home run bets, the home run
You
props.
didn't do your Shohei bets last night.
I completely forgot. I even had it in my head all day. I was like, don't forget to do the Shohei bet because this, I mean, the first swing.
Leads off the game. It's so fun. My little guy Lou had football practice last night. And so we're leaving football practice, and I'm just sort of glancing at Yankees Red Sox score.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, they're going in the bottom of the 9th. It's 3-1 Red Sox.
That went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
And then I see, Yanks got the bases loaded with no outs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, Lou, the Yanks got the bases loaded with no outs, bottom of the 9th. And so I turn it on. We're streaming it in the car. We're watching it. And that was awesome.
That game was great.
So good. Just to see, it felt like postseason baseball.
Yes,
Yankees,
did.
Red Sox, Yankee Stadium. There's Aaron Judge. There's Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
There's Aroldis Chapman. It just had everything. It was that's what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And then Chapman gets out of it. Strikeout, harmless fly ball, strikeout. I think to get out of it. So we watched that, and he's like, and then Lou's like, so what's the next game? I said, Dodgers, Reds. And I said, it stinks that the Mets aren't in this game, but we get to watch Ellie De La Cruz. He was kind of fired up. I said, we're going to get home. You're going to take a shower, study your spelling words, but then we'll turn on Dodgers, Reds. Should be a good game. I didn't know if it'd be a good game, but I said it. I was trying to get us pumped up.
Yeah.
First swing, Shohei, boom, 1-0. Dodgers.
Yeah.
Comes back, hits another one 400 million.
It was over immediately.
He's just awesome. It was just a fun night of baseball. The Dodgers look ridiculous.
The first game was really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't love because I was tied up yesterday afternoon.
Sure.
I like settling in front of the TV, grab a drink, and let's watch a high-stakes baseball game. So last night was fun, but I just missed some of the stuff during the day because I'm always bouncing around and doing other things. So I didn't watch the first game of the day. But, when you got a Cy Young going in game one, whether you're on the road or not, you got a pretty good shot. And so Detroit gets that done.
This wild cards, every team, maybe not the Reds as much, every other team is compelling.
Oh, that's why I had, Romero Miller, former Ole Miss quarterback. He's a Mets fan, as well, and we're like Mets fans for similar reasons. Like some of it's our age. Like we're the same age.
Yep.
And I like when I was a reporter at the Daily Helmsman, University of Memphis. I remember going to Oxford covering an Ole Miss Memphis game, and Romero was the quarterback. So we've become friends over the years, and so we're just constantly texting about the Mets and stuff. And at one point, over in the last week of the regular season, he was like, "Do you even want them to get there at this point? Like, do you even want them there to make it? Because it just feels like it's been so bad for so long." And I was like, I get that, but it became clear if the only path for the Mets to make it would be as the 6th seed going to LA, best of 3 series at Dodger Stadium. Good luck.
Right.
And I was like, it probably won't go well. But I still wanted to get there. I just want to be involved. Because I would have spent all day long yesterday just getting excited and talking myself into it. Mm-hmm. But to your point, the Mets could have, they would have gone out there in game one, started Nolan McLean, the rookie who has been better than Paul Skeens since he came up. Skeens is going to win the Cy Young Award, but McLean was breakout player of baseball. So you put him on the mound in game one, and you still got Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso. You win a 1-0 game, and then it's now you just got to win one of the next two, and you move on. Baseball, there's so much variation in the outcomes. It can go any single baseball game can go any way, and so I don't think this is true in the NFL or the NBA even. Just get in and let's see what happens. And we did that last year with the Grizzlies. Let's just get in and see what happens. We kind of knew what was going to happen.
Right.
In baseball, you can really just get in, and the Red Sox won at Yankee Stadium last night. Now the Yankees got to beat them today and tomorrow, or else the Yankees are done. And the Red Sox move on as the lower seeded team. You can just get there, and then some wild stuff can happen, largely based on starting pitching. And so, fun first day of the playoffs. Today is game 2. And imagine you're a Yankees fan. You watch 162, Aaron Judge having another MVP type season. You feel like, all right, and now we get the Red Sox coming in here for best of 3. All of them are going to be played here. We're the favorite. Let's go. You lose game 1, and now it's what? We're on that season could be over by 9 o'clock tonight.
There's a lot of pressure on him today.
Woo!
Yeah. It's all eyes on Judge today.
I mean, it's all eyes on. I mean, that's Aaron. You get fired. Aaron Boone will get fired.
Yeah.
I mean, they will. Aaron Boone is managing for his job today. Perhaps.
He hates that they got stuck in that series.
Yeah.
That's just in the wild card. And I know we're excited. It's freaking Yankees, Red Sox to kick off the playoffs. But man, if you're either one of those managers, but specifically Aaron Boone, I think you're just oh.
And then it just eats at you forever because your whole career, your life could change tonight. You lose tonight, you could be fired tomorrow. All right, then you could start going, okay, what could have gone differently? You had bases loaded, nobody out in the 9th. A base hit there, we're tied. A sac fly there there's a million ways to win that game.
Yeah, and your former closer gets out of it, right?
There's a million ways to win that game. You can't get it done. You go bases loaded, nobody out, game over. You just win that game. Maybe your whole life's different the rest of your life is different than what it will likely be if you lose today. That's crazy. Your whole life changes in a matter of 2 days. I mean, it's not crazy. It happens all the time, but that's what he's up against.
He also screwed up pulling Max Fried. It's the playoffs. I
Let
hate
him go.
that. Let him play, dude.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
They have, this is what they'll tell you. They've got data that shows when you go through when you go through a lineup, a third time, everything gets more complicated. And this is the argument they made in Tampa a few years ago for pulling Blake Snell. But
As soon as you pulled him, the game flipped.
Sometimes baseball is just baseball, and I don't care what your data shows. Like, this guy's dealing.
Yeah.
Let him go.
You were winning. Yeah. You pull him, the game flips.
This guy's dealing. Let him go. Like, I saw somebody tweet last night, like, shouts to Aaron Boone for getting Max Fried out of there early to, keep him rested for his next start in March. Like, what are we doing? Oh, right. You'll be second guess forever.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start Jazz Chisholm. I think they left a 30-30 guy on the bench.
Yeah.
Because it was a bad lefty-lefty lineup. But that's one where, are you overthinking this?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Not only will you be second guessed forever, you'll be second guessing yourself forever.
Right.
You lose today and you lose that job.
Man.
You'll be second guessing. All right, I'm fired up. Big baseball day.
Too. Yeah.
Big baseball day.
I hope the Yankees win tonight because I want tomorrow night. Man.
Yeah, now today I want the Yankees to win so that we get a big, pivotal game 3.
Yeah.
Winner go home game 3 in Yankee Stadium tomorrow. Fired up.
Me too.
Hey, you go pick that game. We're picking Yankees Red Sox. We'll do that next.
Jaron Jackson has a message for y'all. Jaron, say it now.
What?
It's the best show in the world.
Yeah, Trip. When I showed up at the event last night, he goes, "You got the biggest show in the world." And I said, "No, I really don't." And he goes, "To me, you do. I see you every day." I asked him why he doesn't just walk up here, and he's like, "Because I don't want you to be able to prepare." I was like,
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Open practice presented by Tennessee Lottery. It's set for this Saturday, October 4th, 1 o'clock. We're going to do it inside FedEx Forum. Free admission for all fans. That means you just walk in the front door. You don't have to pay a thing. And you can watch your favorite players compete in live practice and skills competitions. And even better, don't forget about this part of it. Opening night tickets, that game against the Pelicans, October 22nd. You can purchase them this Saturday at the open practice from the FedEx Forum box office. They're going to cost you just $9.01. 901 tickets are available, but only in person at the FedEx Forum box office is this Saturday, October 4th. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, did you see Shadur Sanders? I just saw this. Our buddy Michael Leaves tweeted it.
Oh, no.
Shadur Sanders was asked about the quarterback change in Cleveland. Joe Flacco out and Dylan Gabriel in. And Shedeur Sanders, rather than answer the reporters' questions with words, he I'm going to make sure I get this exactly right. Pantomimed his answers about the quarterback change in Cleveland.
How so?
Well, what does pantomime mean exactly in your head?
Pantomime?
What do you think it means?
Is that, wait, instead of using his words like a mime?
Let's see if we can get Kyra to pull it real quick. Let's just watch it together. We'll learn about this in real time. Kyra, can you go to Michael Eve's Twitter account and let's just scroll down a little bit and let's see how Shedeur Sanders actually answered these questions.
Pantomime.
I can give you the official definition if you want to, but we sound real stupid right now, don't we?
Well, I would assume that it would be like using your
a dramatic
gestures.
Entertainment originating in Roman mime in which performers express meaning through gestures accompanied by music.
That's like what I said.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And apparently Shedeur Sanders decided to do that.
Instead of actually answering the questions with words.
That's what I'm reading.
Okay.
Which, if true, is just weird. But perhaps you would act weird if you heard at your place of employment that there was a big change and you're like, ooh, a big change. A big change where? At your position. Oh, wow. Let's hear it. Yeah, you're still third string. That probably, you might act weird too.
I mean, he had to know that he was still third string.
I bet you he didn't.
You thought he thinks he was next up.
He seems, every time he talks, he seems to think he's next up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of weird too. Like, he famously didn't want to be drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, and now Lamar Jackson's out because he didn't want to back up Lamar, right?
Which was just another interesting comment for him because, like, why wouldn't you want to learn from Lamar Jackson?
And now Lamar's out.
Right. But, like, just why wouldn't you want to be in that situation?
I know.
Like, there's a franchise that has developed a quarterback. They believed in a quarterback and they developed a quarterback, and he's an MVP and perhaps a future Super Bowl champion. Why wouldn't you want to be around that?
Okay.
Let's see what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. Kyra, let's see what's going on. I don't have any idea what this is. I feel stupid for even bringing it up.
Third quarterback. Vocally, anything to say?
I guess one more. What do you think you have to show to the coaches just to have that belief in you that you can be ready?
What can you say?
How much has Joe been important to both you and Dylan in terms of your guys' development to this point?
Y'all might as well. Hey, what are we doing? What do you think we're doing?
Well, I mean, if that was meant to be funny, I did not laugh. I don't think he's a comedian. That was stupid.
What are we doing, you think?
I don't know. That was very weird.
What do you think's going on?
I mean, I think he was trying to be jokey and happy-go-lucky there, but it wasn't very funny.
I don't know. Let's get going. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we got to go.
What's today's biggest game?
Game 2, AL wildcard. Red Sox at Yankees. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Brian Bayo on the mound for Boston. Carlos Rodon is pitching for the Yankees. Carlos Rodon pitching for the Yankees. First pitch, 5 o'clock. ESPN. Yankees minus 180. Red Sox plus 150. How you going to act?
I'm so tempted to take the Red Sox again. It just feel like them booty holes are going to be a little tight. Can I not say that?
I don't know. You did.
Yeah. I'll go Yankees. I'll go because I want to see a Game 3 so bad.
Bennett says take the Yankees. Yeah. He's laying minus 180 tonight.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in Doc? It's number 2 in television shows on Netflix.com today. Brand new series, 10 episodes in season 1. Starring Molly Parker, after a brain injury wipes the last 8 years from her memory, a doctor must rebuild her identity and career in a world she doesn't recognize. Oh, no.
I'm going to pass. I don't know if you noticed, it's October 1st, so we're watching horror movies every single day until Halloween.
All right. Bennett says pass on Doc, but if you want to watch it, it's at Netflix.com right now.
What's the best thing we've read?
Jeff Calkins had a nice column, dailymemphian.com, on our old friend Larry Ray.
Yeah, man. That was sad to hear this week. Yeah,
Larry
Brad
Ray,
texted me. It's sad.
His face was in the commercial appeal forever while I was growing up, and then I got to call him a coworker, and he was over at 92.9 all the time in those Odyssey studios doing his show, and just always just the nicest man, and just a pleasant, great everything.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Larry Ray.
I think he's he was the authority on outdoors in Memphis, right? Like
best.
that, like
just the best. Like it really, like my heart sunk when I heard the news. So Jeff properly remembered him in column form today. You can read it dailymemphian.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's going to be Thursday. That means Michael Wallace is going to join me, I believe, live from Nashville. He's there for Grizzlies training camp, so looking forward to that. Should be a fun show. Wish we could do it now, but we're going to have to wait 22 hours. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then,